Welcome to this episode of Eureka. We are going to have a very interesting discussion on pulses. Many of you may not know, 2016 was declared as International Year of Pulses. That's how important the world gave to pulses. The person whom we are going to have a conversation today is Dr. Jeet Singh Sandhu, who is Deputy Director General of Crop Science in Indian Council for Agriculture Research. Before we start the conversation, we will take a quick look at his brief profile and then we are going to have a very interesting conversation. Keep watching.
Dr. Jeet Singh Sandhu is a renowned legume breeder. Known for his hard work and dedication, he currently holds one of the top positions in ICAR as the Deputy Director General in the Crop Science Division. Dr. Sandhu's professional career started when he joined Punjab Agricultural University in 1985. In addition to his path-breaking research on chickpea, he remained an accomplished teacher. Dr. Sandhu is associated with the development of 22 varieties of different pulse crops. He worked on developing disease-resistant varieties of chickpea, mung bean, arhar and soybean, all of which have been well accepted by farmers. In addition, Dr. Jeet Singh Sandhu has published 215 research papers in journals of national and international repute.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, being with us, and it's very nice. It's very, I would say that curious. One has heard of International Year of light-based technology, because you want to move forward, bring out new technology. But an International Year of pulses? What was the need or focus of this kind of a program?
I think this is a wonderful question. We all talking of sustainable agriculture. What are the crops bring sustainable? Means they are how much resources they use. Like pulses, they not use much resource of water resources. Minimum water is required to raise, mostly rain-fed. Second question is that they have a capability God has given to them. They can absorb the nitrogen from the environment and get it fixed into their nodules in the soil and enrich the soil fertility is enhanced. And third thing, their grains are so rich in the protein, is the vital the component of our dietary. From all energy is derived, our daily tearing and wearing of the body is compensated by the protein. And third thing, these crops are so friendly with other crops, they can fit any of the cropping system, any of the combination. They can grow as an intercrop, they can grow as a solo crop, they can grow on the bunds. So all is friendly in that nature. So keeping that view, the UNO thought that this will be very, very important group of crops to be celebrated or to be taken as an international year of the pulses.
It's very interesting. You have spent more than about 40 years in working on pulses.
Yeah.
And that's been your specialty. And then International Year certainly would have brought you joy and happiness and perhaps a little bit of pride. So let's come back to your research work. You started your research work from Punjab Agricultural University, right? So what kind of work you were doing that time, in those times?
Okay, I joined Punjab Agricultural University in 1985 and joined in a pulses, the section departments. And being a pulse breeder or a breeding man, so then I joined my research career and I started working in the crop is the chickpea, what we call gram, Bengal gram with many names. Internationally is a known crop. So I joined there as a research fellow, then promoted to assistant professor, and then keep on going as the in charge of pulses section in the Department of Plant Breeding. I worked for 25 years and continuously on the pulse crops.
Okay.
And make me very interesting because being a breeder means every day I think I am going to create a new thing. And I am very passionate to every day. I once in a day. Sometimes I go 2 times in my field. How my plants are growing and making. I am looking very closely to them. How it is different from the parent varieties and how they are moving. And every day I am watching them. It kind of creation means you are creating something new.
Very
And
interesting.
that make you.
Let me ask you a question here. I mean, many of us are not necessarily from an agriculture background, or many of us may not even have agricultural experience.
Yeah.
So it may be looking very silly, but on the other hand, to know is good, right? No, rather than imagining things. How do you actually breed a plant? That seems to be a mystery. Do you have some kind of a magic wand?
Okay, I think this is breeding is started a long back, and certain things. While we know what are the varieties grown by the farmers, and then what is the defect in those? Is it why farmer is not taking the good potential of that? Is it over the time what happened? Their variety become too susceptible to certain insect, pest or diseases, and that's why their potential will go. And we have in the breeding thousands of line that some line is resistant to diseases, some has a good yield potential. We make a crosses of them and grow their progeny and look for 7-8 years how those progeny to move and a generation advance, and then put into those conditions where disease 100% no escape is there, only what are the resistant plant we take forward, other is rejected, and then 3 years they are compared with the best check variety, standard variety which is popular with the farmer. How in that comparison new variety is performing? Is it giving the advantage over that or not? And then quality wise superiority and any new trait has come which is the consumer would like it and its variety will go. I think that way we breed a variety in comparison to what is available and to develop a superiority over that.
Very, very interesting. So, which means actually you need to plant the seeds in the ground and
Yeah.
see how it is coming out.
Yeah.
And then see how it natural environment, I mean, it gives yield or is able to sustain
Yeah.
itself. That's a kind of very interesting. But we'll continue to have this conversation, but we'll take a very small break. After the break, we are going to have very interesting discussion. You use the word chickpea. People say pigeon pea. It means these pulses were used as food to birds. Then why do human beings we consume? We are going to ask this question. We are going to have an interesting discussion on pulses. After the break, keep watching Eureka. Welcome back to Eureka, and we are going to have a very interesting conversation with Dr. Jeet Singh Sandhu, Deputy Director General of Indian Council for Agricultural Research. He has been an expert in the area of pulses. In English, we use words like chickpea for Bengal gram. We use a word like pigeon pea for arhar. You know, these things we consume. But in English, it appears that these are all, food for birds. How does this whole thing comes about?
Okay. I think it's not a food for the bird. But if you say the chickpea, if you look at the grain, it's one beak is there. Its beak is like chick.
Okay.
So that's why chickpea. And if you say the pigeon pea is a round shaped, is the eyes of a pigeon.
Okay.
Almost looks like that. So that's why the naming is given as a chickpea and pigeon pea, and so many other crops also there.
Yeah,
The green
that's a
gram,
very interesting
green
thing.
gram is grains are green, and black gram is the grains are black.
Black. Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. How important is pulses in our life?
I think I don't think any household of India which not eat a pulses daily, because what I am told in the beginning is the rich source of the protein. Not only the rich source of protein, also several minerals are there, and fibers are there, and carbohydrate there, and this is the pulses are free from the fat. Those have a problem of heart and other things. They are very safe. These are crops for the pulses are very safe to them, and definitely for the cropping system is important. where the soil health is important and environment is friendly and all these respect. So the pulses have all kind of ingredient that is becoming is the importance of that. And second thing I tell, from 1950 to onward, these are the pulses which not lost the area in spite of the low yield in comparison to wheat. They remain into one system or the other system because of importance of the pulses in Indian system or in our daily the diet system or maybe any regions that they remain in this, our part of our daily life.
Yeah, yeah. Very important point. I come from South India and then we eat a lot of idli. Half of it is actually urd dal.
Yeah,
I
urd
mean,
dal.
so without that we can't make it. I mean, it's been very central to our diet. You have been a researcher in pulses, crop sciences, breeding.
Yeah.
What would you say as your major achievement in this 40 years of your research work?
One thing is I am basically the convention breeder. Breeders, as I feel that in a 30 year breeding or active program, I worked at the Punjab Agriculture University. Definitely, I have in my credit 23 varieties of different pulse crops.
23 varieties of different pulse
Different
crops.
pulse crops. Mainly of chickpea, 10 of the pulses of chickpea, and other from mung bean, and the black gram, and pigeon pea as well. So these are 4 pulses I worked. And definitely one is very satisfying when you see the farmer are liking your variety. And there is a lot of seed production activity of particular varieties which I have bred. So I think that gives me a satisfaction that in my life I have done something very interesting, and I feel very satisfied from my being a breeder of pulse crops.
Very interesting. Is there any very interesting incident in your research time when you were breeding, something very interesting that happened, which is kind of something that you would like to tell maybe your grandchildren?
Definitely a few things because from the very beginning I like the breeding. And sometime in the chickpea, there are a number of the wild species, and they have very peculiar traits, particular resistance to certain diseases.
Okay.
Those are the reason why pulses from the Punjab, Haryana moved to the central India due to certain diseases. These wild species have a resistance to that, and it is very difficult to put cross them with the cultivated one. And that I become a passionate to work every day and move in the early morning to the field, make a lot of crosses, and thousands of crosses I made. And when some pods are set on that plant, that is my thinking that I have achieved something the extraordinary, which is I cannot remember in my life. Seeing some pod are developing, and so how I save those every day, watching that nobody can, bird or other thing will not damage that, and then taken forward. And then I grown into the next year, a kind of variability and variation is saw. In international institute like ICAR, ICAR scientists visited the material. They are saying it's a mind-boggling the kind of material I have created. I think that brought the name of PAU into the international arena, and that is, I think, satisfying to me that I have done something is extraordinary work in my life.
That's very interesting. You said you were trying to cross a wild variety with the cultivated variety. Why do you need to cross with a wild variety? Wild variety is very old, people don't use it, so what is it?
I think that this is a very important question. What happened? These are all our varieties. Originally, they are evolved from the wild species. With the nature, they are favored. And with the time, what happened then, the very important gene or trait is left behind. And today, in the changing environment, the scenario, climate change, we need some of the traits which is remain back there, and to make cross them, it's not very easy job. When you make a cross within cultivated wild, your seed of next generation looks like a chickpea. It's very small, very उसमें some is wrinkled, some all kind of shape of the seed. You don't think that what you have done. I think I destroy everything. So as the generation move and we further make a selection, I think resistance derived from those is more stable than cultivated. We don't have that kind of resistance, our germplasm. So only available on the resistance in the wild sources, and from there transferring is a very difficult job. I think that and otherwise it's a very challenging. These were our international institute, CRISAT in Hyderabad, and ICAR in Syria. They people not able to make a crosses. Our is the first credit go that we made a first time a
First time wild
so
cross,
so using wild sources, and that make the differences.
Very interesting. Dr. Jeet Singh Sandhu, with whom we are having conversation, is the first person to make a cross in chickpea between the wild and cultivated variety. We'll continue this discussion. We'll take a very small break. Don't go away. Keep watching Eureka. We are going to discuss about certain important issues. Do you know we kind of import roughly about 10 to 20% of our pulse consumption? What do we do about it? All these questions we will explore in the next section. Keep watching Eureka. Don't go away. Welcome back to Eureka, and we are having a very interesting conversation with Dr. Jeet Singh Sandhu, who is the Deputy Director General of Crop Sciences in Indian Council for Agriculture Research. Thank you for being with us. We are having a very interesting conversation.
Yeah.
We have been talking about how you are able to cross a wild variety and a cultivated variety and then able to develop new varieties of chickpea, and how perhaps it may contribute to our production. Now we are talking about food security. There was a time when India was described by the world as ship to lip. We did not have enough food, so we were importing food grain. Today we are flushed with food grain.
Yeah.
So, but today when we say challenge of meeting the food security,
Yeah.
pulses comes in.
Yeah.
Where does the pulse come in food security?
देखिए food security we produces almost 25% of the world pulses in India, and around 30 or 33% of the area of pulses in India. We have so many distinction. We are the largest producer of pulses, largest of consumers of pulses, larger of processor of the pulses, and largest importer of the pulses. So these all distinction we have, because we are the Indian basically is a vegetarian diet, and that's why we are importing pulses. We are not able to meet our domestic demand. Reason being that it's not a technology we are not able to develop, but question that when the condition they are grown, largely 80-85% pulses are grown in the rain-fed situation, and rain-fed situation is those are the farmers. They are also resource poor farmers. They don't put the desired input into what is a small little is required, even though that was not put. Even the quality seed of the pulses were not available, and what we called the seed rate, seed replacement rate, was pulses in the 4-5-3%. Is recently for the last 4-5 years we have come to 24% or 25% reasonably, and that's the reason from 14-13 million ton, we are reached to 19 million ton, and I think this year is going to have another record of more than 20 million ton.
Okay.
I think that's the technology is there, but the conditions should be.
Even now we are importing pulses, right? I mean, what will be the kind of quantity that we are importing?
Last year, I think the largest we have import around 5.8 million or something like that.
Okay.
That is the largest production. And that year is a 16.47 million ton of our domestic production. So kind of we had the last, but definitely the last 1 year, the Prime Minister office and we developed a strategy together, monitoring a lot of efforts we have gone, new activities we have taken, and taken that is very also the funds are also provided. Basic the funds are going into the how we can give the seed of the new variety to the farmers. So we have created 150 seed hubs where the new seed of the pulses can be produced of the new variety.
Okay.
And likewise, the breeder seed, we have given additional money to accelerate the breeder seed production. And third component is that large scale demonstration of the new variety through the Krishi Vigyan Kendra, so the farmer to be exposed to the new varieties and demonstration while seeing and believing, so that the technology have been taken. So I think this year also rain god also kind enough on India that we have a normal monsoon and is well spread, and that's why. And also the price in the market, the farmers also increase that they will get a good price of the pulses. So that's why this year is a record area of coverage on the pulses, and hopefully we'll have another record production of the pulses this year.
This year, very good. But pulses are largely rain-fed crop. I mean, are largely grown in areas which use rain as a major resource for irrigation. So, which means that pulse production is very sensitive to rainfall in India.
Yeah.
And rainfall varies.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have good rain, sometimes we have very bad rain.
Bad rains.
So, which essentially mean that we are not going to have some kind of even basic stability in pulses production.
Yeah, yeah.
Where do you come in there? I mean, what can be done for it?
No, definitely this is very, very important. While I am Deputy Director General of Crop Science, I have reviewed our program of last 25 years, what we have done and what kind of the data what are the 30 years before in the rain-fed situation, what is the yield we are getting in our experiment trial and what is the yield we are getting now. In 35 years, how much we move, and I think this is very interesting to share with that. We have a continuously increasing our productivity into the rain-fed situation. That means we are bringing the genetic changes within the plant that are more resilient to the existing the rain-fed condition, and productivity is moving. I think that technology, whatever we make a breeding or many other intervention, so making our varieties too resilient and more stable under the rain-fed situation. That technology we are over the time we are improving. It's if you can say the rain-fed agriculture overall. If you see the change in the productivity of rain-fed area in comparison to irrigation is similar take to other crop as well. In the rain-fed situation, there is not much improvement of productivity per se. But definitely we are improving the productivity slowly, and somewhere our productivity is not the low in comparison to world. Somewhere in the chickpea we are as equivalent to world average. So I think our technology is what we can say is at par of the world productivity. The technology is there. So definitely is a very difficult proposition to working in the hard situation and where something moisture level in the soil is so low. So even germination, at least germination should be there, and after that everything move. So it's a very challenging things that.
So you said that in India, in terms of food security, in terms of providing the basic protein, pulses play a very important role.
Yes.
And increasing the pulses production is important if you are going to move towards food security.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, a complete food security situation in India.
Yeah.
What do you think are, let's say, three major challenges that pulse production faces today?
Today, if we say the challenge, is the new varieties and technology, it should move immediately to the farmers. And the technology move with the seed. New seed to reach to the farmers. So if that area if we accomplished that constraint, I think rest thing will follow up. Second thing is that our production sometime in the past also we had a very good production, but as soon the production goes up, the market price come to down, the minimum support price what government of India is giving, and now the government is ensuring that the farmer will get minimum support price. I think if that is ensured, some kind of if if we had made a progress in wheat rice, only the MSP is one of the factors to bringing the stability. And same thing is hold true also here. So some the farmer don't, even the farmer get more than, we should not be worried about that. And second thing, the government in India has announced to procure the pulses from the farmers, and 2 million ton a buffer to be created. I think that buffer will definitely will act as the sudden price rise, and consumers the aspect also being covered in that. I think
very interesting point. We had a very interesting discussion. We could have continued for some more time, but then time is up. We need to end this conversation here. We had a very interesting conversation. We understood quite a lot of stuff. How pulses are important. We eat it every day, but we don't think that it's a major challenge. It's a major challenge, and people like him are facing those challenges. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Keep watching Eureka. Next week we'll have a conversation with another scientist, and will be also interesting. Keep watching Eureka.